Hello, everyone. My name is Daphne St. Clair Ferguson, and I'm sitting here with the performer of Gaumukhi, or Cow. If you could you introduce yourself, tell us a bit about your role on the show, and take it away.
Definitely. I'll take the mic away and then start because I like taking the cover. Because my show is, by the way, hi, I'm Deval, Deval Soni. I'm an actor producer for Gaumukhi Cow. It's a solo show, it's a storytelling drama show tied with live Indian classical music performed in a 360-degree venue at Video Cabaret. And it's a solo show about a cow after beef ban in India. And it's a uncomfortable show. It's a political satire, and we talk about the rising sectarian sentiment in India right now. And it's not a funny show, guys. It's something that you'll sit in the audience and you'll think that what are they trying to say? There's like a lot of subtext. So that's what the show is about, and it's a one-man show.
Wonderful. So, talk to me a little bit about that one man show. Like, how is this different, say, from producing something with multiple people? Because, again, as we were talking before this interview, your last team was quite large with Tobatek Singh at the Fringe last year. So, how has this shifted and changed? What did you learn? Take it away.
Yeah, definitely. Working in bigger teams is a different ball game in itself because we had like almost 17 people in the entire crew last year, and people usually suggest that Fringe team is like 2 people, 3 people, or 4 max. But I was like, okay, 17, my first Fringe, and like
Go
17
big.
people, go big, right? And after I did that, I was like, shit, this is like a big gamble that I got into. But then I was into it, and back in my bachelor's time when I was doing my bachelor's back home, I led like a team of 30, 35 people, and I made a play that big back when I was like 18, 19.
Wow.
So I looked back at that experience and I was like, maybe I can pull that off, not a problem. And luckily, I'm a natural leader, so that worked out really well. But this time we were very adamant on, first of all, the cost and having a smaller team. And since we were touring the play, we wanted it to be very small and very like tourable. And that's why it's very different in itself, but it also takes work because solo show is hard to market, and people are like, okay, so how many actors, and you're like, it's just me, and when you have more people on stage or in the crew, it's easier for you to market because everyone brings like 2 to 3 people to see their show, right? And with the solo show, it's not the same. Like, I can bring my 10 friends or maybe my exes or whoever, but it's difficult and it's different, I would say. But if you market it well, I think it's something, an experience that to learn from.
And so, how have you found? How do you think you've marketed this show well? And if you have, what are some tips you could give other fringers on marketing a solo show or just a fringe show?
Definitely. So I do have a background in marketing as well, and I like to use that a lot. I am a person who likes to yap, as you can see right now. And we have used various different techniques, like social media ads is just one of them. Showing up at the patio, talking to a lot of people, flying at the queues for other plays which are doing well at the box office. And this year's marketing was a little bit different as well because our venue was in the East End. It's a little bit far from the main patio and the center of Fringe, so we had to work a little harder to like let people know that, hey, we are not here, we are here.
Over there.
Yes, over there. So it was interesting to divert the audience over to the new region. And as I said, so we used, like, Fringe supports a lot to market your show. So we had like market stalls, and we put up a small booth where we talked about our play. We did some couple of raffles, people won free tickets, all of that. And then what else did we did? It's a co-production this time, so 2 productions are coming together, mine and Kusha's. It's called Dramatic Jukebox, which is my production house, and Kush also has his own, which is called Cinema Club. And when 2 productions come together, they bring their own audiences.
Right.
And I think that also helps to fetch audience and market the show. So I think just being shameless about why you are doing this and why people should watch it is the best way to go at it, because Fringe is people want to see shows. You just gotta go out there and talk about your show, and don't be shy. Just do it.
And so why should people come and see your show? We're nearing the end of the Fringe here, so how are you going to pull in those last couple of people?
I would say that you might have seen a lot of funny theater, musical theater, all of the sold out shows that are playing at Soul Pepper Theater. And but why to come our show, see our show is it has live Indian classical music. It's a uncomfortable show. It's a drama storytelling show, and if you want to see real theater, which is in 360 degree with live Indian classical music, very intimate, I would look you in the eye and say some things which will probably make you uncomfortable. And if you want that kind of experience, I think this is the kind of play that you should come watch it. And we make you think. We make you think by the end of the play, and not a lot of people make that kind of theater these days, and that's what I find in Toronto's indie theater scene, that at Fringe you can do uncomfortable theater and people would watch and pay for it. Yeah.
And I think this leads me very well into my next question is what is Canadian theater to you, and how does this show maybe oppose, or how does it fit into that indie theater scene in Canada, in Toronto?
Yeah, definitely. I think so. I've been here since like 5-6 years now, and I make sure that I watch at least 4 to 5 plays every month. Like a lot of my artist budget goes into watching theater and watching art. So I come from, if I'm saying this, it's not out of ego or some other side. It's just out of what I have seen. I've seen that Canadian theater is like struggling, and there's not a, like, indie theater scene is awesome, don't get me wrong with that, but the commercial scene is, people have money, but the quality of work is not the same. Like the same kind of plays you could watch at Fringe with less money, and that makes me think that where is this Canadian theater going, you know? And there's a lot of musicals happening, there's a lot of Mervish kind of stuff happening, American productions coming here, touring, the same thing again and again. There's Lion King happening, and then all the sorts of musicals which are being touring a lot since many years. I have no offense to that. I come from a musical storytelling country as well, Bollywood, right? Bollywood is like all about dance and music and all of that. But I feel theater also serves as something that you connect with. You know, it's live. It's not one-dimensional where people pay for tickets and just clap and enjoy. It's about feeling. It's about one-on-one connection, body to body. So, and I personally come from immersive, devised kind of experimental kind of physical theater background, and I want to make art which is live and which is connected to the audience. And audience is not a separate. They are like a player in the game.
Exactly.
And it's a play. That's why it was called play, because it was meant to be a game, right? And we have made it into a capitalistic approach of, I pay ticket, this much price, and the play should be good. Sometimes it's just about the experience. You just go there for the experience and not to judge what these people are making, right? And that's where I felt the scarcity to make theater that I relate to, I resonate to, and I come from a background of color. I'm South Asian, so I wanted to create opportunities for people like me. I wanted to tell my stories, wanted to cast myself, make more work, right, in which I can act. So I think that scarcity allowed me to start my own production house. Again, I'll plug in my name is like Dramatic Jukebox Productions. We do theater, film, and creative marketing, and I think that's the scene going on, and that's why we need more theater like us, and more theater like Fringe. So yeah, I hope I answered your question.
No, you did. You answered it beautifully. That was a really wonderful question. I learned a lot from you here. Yeah. And so why bring this show? I think you touched on it a little bit, but why bring this show about the beef band to Canada? How does this play into the context of which we're living in
right.
Toronto, and you're touring again to Hamilton and Mississauga?
Yes.
Where does this story fit in, and why tell it here?
So I think recently, as everyone might have noticed, the immigration has increased a lot, and there's a lot of South Asian communities here. And I think South Asian communities lack stories from their own countries, and recently we have had worldwide tensions going on, as you can see on the news and everything. And India and Pakistan mainly had a very big war recently, and to do something that a play that talks about communal tensions between Hindus and the Muslims, and comments on the entire political scenario of the world. I think it's the best time to do this play, and yeah, it was necessary to do this, and like Fringe is the perfect platform to talk about something like this. So I think now is the right time.
Beautiful. Now is the right time to tell the story, and now is the right time to go see this story at the Fringe. And so I'd also love to talk to you a little bit about performing this show. As you're a performer, you mentioned you didn't write this. So how is it performing a solo show that's not your own writing? How's that collaboration process, and how have you found audiences receive that solo show?
Right. I think since I've not written the show, it was a process of education research for me, because it is a very well written show. It is written like a novella. And it's written in an interesting format. It's not just narration or storytelling. It's tied with me telling a story and then performing the story at the same time. And that's a different kind of approach that the writer has taken in writing the story. And performing it as a solo show was very difficult, because English is not my first language. I have coped up on my English and my accent, as you can hear right now. But I had to sit with the writer-director and understand each and every word, what it means. And it was a process. At first I had like difficulties understanding and like memorizing, first of all, because the first draft was like, I think, at least 35 pages. And 35 pages is of very well written novella type text is very difficult. So we had to work towards it. The writer director and myself both spent hours understanding the play, and now that I'm performing it every day, I discover new things, what the words mean sometimes. And sometimes, just this morning, I was calling on a call with my mother, and I was talking to my granddad, and I saw him. He's not doing well, and that triggered one of the lines from the play. If I may quote that line from the play, it's like, my grandfather lay on his bed as fearfully I watched him from a distance. And that triggered me and reminded me of the script that I'm doing right now. And I'm like, wow. So these kind of discoveries, I'm making it every day. And the more we do it, the more we discover. So I think I lost track of the question, but I think I answered that.
You did. You answered it quite beautifully, and
Okay.
I think that's the magic of theater too, because I think there's going to be people coming into this show and hearing that line and also relating back to
Yes.
their own personal experiences,
definitely.
even if they don't come from a South Asian background. I think people
yeah.
will connect with that, which I think is quite beautiful.
Yeah.
And so I'd love to hear also a little bit about the classical music in this show. How was that developed? What's that like working with it? Talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, sure. First of all, I really want to appreciate how detailed this interview is, because I love talking about the process and stuff. So thanks for that.
hearing about it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So the classical music, so it's because we comment on the intercommunal tensions between Hindus and the Muslims. So we really wanted to use Sufi music, which talks about finding God in people, and not in a very religious scripture or a structure or something. And then on the opposite end, we wanted to talk about the Hindustani classical music, which is Kabir bhajans, which on the contrary is more based on Hinduism, I would say,
Right.
but also talks about finding God in people, so there's like contrast and also the fluidity of two religions. And so we use Sufi music, Kabir bhajans, and classical Hindustani classical music, and different kinds of tracks in the play. And we have two Indian classical musicians on stage. One of them is on like a synth player, so he's like live jamming with my energies and the other vocalist, and the other person is a vocalist, and he sings very beautifully. You have to hear his voice. Oh my god, I love him. So it's like a ensemble of three people. I am storytelling and moving, dancing, singing at times. The vocalist is doing his own vocals, and the musician on the synth is using keyboard and live mixing based on energies from mine and vocalist. So it's like a live jamming between three storytellers.
Beautiful.
And that's how we developed the music as well. And it's really beautiful. I cannot describe it. You just have to come listen to it.
You've got to come listen to it. I really want to come listen to this too. This sounds beautiful. And this is my final question for today. What do you want to do with your life? As a storyteller, as an artist, as a person?
Wow, that is... I did not expect that. That is a great question, by the way.
Thank you.
Wow, you baffled me with that.
Stumped. I got
Yeah.
the yapper to stop.
Yeah, I know, right? I think I do want to experience life, and that is a very vague answer to that, but I'll go deeper into that. You know, I'm a kind of a person who likes to live fully, be present, be honest, be gray. I don't consider life as right or wrong, or and a lot of times it's very controversial, but artists don't have morals, and I do think that when you are true to your art, there's no right or wrong. There's always gray, and you are always discovering things. And I treat life as an opportunity to explore and learn, and I am very curious. I would right now I'm like so curious about this sellotape, this tape that is being like...
Very interesting.
I know, it's very interesting. So that's how I am, you know, like, so I want to like keep living life, and I think I have a different perspective to see life, and I see it with different layers rather than blocking my surroundings and my people and the energies around me. I consume it all in, and I think when I consume it, I need an output to take it out, and that's where my art comes in. And that's why I want to just tell stories through film, TV, theater, voice acting, whatever mediums out there exist. Probably 10 years later, I might be making theater with robots. Who knows, right? I'm not opposed to AI or robots or stuff. We gotta move on with some time, right? So yeah, I'll just keep on living my life, experiencing life, and making theater and art. And yeah, just experience it all.
Beautifully put. Let's experience it all, and let's experience this cow together too. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Is there anything else you'd like to say before we sign off here?
Oh yes, I would like to mention the logistics of when, where, how you can buy the tickets. So we have 2 more shows at Toronto Fringe, running at Video Cabaret, Deanne Taylor Theatre. It's on Leslieville and Gerrard on the East End. It's a beautiful venue, 360-degree venue, very intimate space. You can buy the tickets on Toronto. Wait, I might be quoting it wrong, but you can buy it on fringetoronto.com, or just go to our Instagram page, Dramatic Jukebox, and check out our bio. Or call the box office. There are many ways. Or check out the caption or the description of the video that you are watching right now. After that, we are touring to Hamilton Fringe for 7 more shows. That's from 16th July to 27th July. Again, go on Hamilton Fringe website, buy tickets there. Tickets are live now. And after that, if you still haven't caught the show, we have 4 more shows in Mississauga Fringe. And that is being performed at AN1 Studios. And you can buy the tickets for it on Savitri Theatre, Mississauga Multilingual Fringe. Just look for it. You'll find it. If not, come on Instagram. Find me. I'm a very familiar face. Find me, and I will let you on. Thank you so much. I will pass it on.
Thank you so much once again for joining me, and thank you for watching. This is Daphne St. Clair Ferguson signing off. Woo! Watch the next video. It's pretty cool.
My name is Daphne St. Clair Ferguson. My name is Daphne St. Clair Ferguson. Thanks for watching. Watch the next video. It's pretty cool. Watch the next video. My name is Daphne St. Clair Ferguson. My name is Daphne St. Clair Ferguson. Watch the next video.